So they took up stones to throw at him. He says, someone questions him and he says, Jesus, you say, you are not yet 50 years old. You say you have seen Abraham. And he says, before Abraham was, I am.
Isn't that what I said?
He's talking about himself.
Isn't that what I said?
He's talking about himself, and then they take up stones to
No,
throw
ask
at him.
Filippo.
Why do they take up stones to throw
wait,
him?
ask Filippo. Isn't that what I said?
Why do they take up stones to stone him when he says, I am?
The Jewish people were trying to stone him, kill him, crucify him by all means. Because he came to overturn their society, their status quo. Even though they could not find anything wrong in him, they're trying all their best means to frame him. But he was clever enough to refute them in all occasions. In there, he didn't respond and they didn't do anything. So, look. I've already explained. You came late.
He says, I am. And then they take up stones to stone him after he says, I am. He's talking about himself, and he's talking about being before Abraham.
And what was his
Jesus
response?
Is saying, I am
Okay,
before
good.
Abraham.
Now,
so if you agree Jesus
one
was
second.
before
One second.
Abraham.
The blank bit there. Now tell me here, what did Jesus defend? How did he defend when they tried to stone him?
How did he?
How did he defend being stoned? So he didn't defend. So you can't help me here and I can't help you because there is no Jesus' defense here. He didn't defend himself. So the crucial bit is missing. But there is an occasion where Jesus defended himself and they could not get away from him.
One point I will make. You know that verse, the Jews, some of them accused Jesus, yes? In the end, even he said, I'm going to the Father. So also, Jews accused Jesus to be the false Messiah. According to his logic, so Jesus should be false Messiah.
So at one point, Jesus, when he was accused of blasphemy, he refuted them. He stood there in his defense and he defended and he refuted them. Do you remember that incident when he defended?
Which one?
When they claimed that you, a mere man,
Who is
blaspheme.
He to forgive sins? Only God can forgive sins.
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about an instance where they said, you, a mere man, you're blaspheming, claiming to be God. That's what we're discussing, right? Did he claim to be God or not?
He did.
And he refuted them. How did he refute them? Or did he say, of course I am God? Exactly what you would expect. Did he say, of course I'm God?
I don't know which instance you're talking about.
In the end, you know what he said? I have heard from God.
Let me remind you, where he said, isn't it written in your law that you are called gods, the sons of the Most High, and the scripture cannot be broken? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Right. So, when they were saying, you are blaspheming, you're claiming to be God, if he was really claiming to be God, he would have said, of course I'm God. Did he say that?
He didn't say he's not God.
No. Did he say that yes, I am God? That's not a blasphemy.
You're making an argument from silence.
No.
You're saying that he didn't say he isn't God.
That's where it's totally being, insincere discussion approach. If someone, I'm telling you, if someone is saying, look, you claim to be God, blasphemy, your response should be, if you are God, saying, I am God. What do you mean?
Well, his time hadn't come.
Time hasn't come. So basically, okay. So how did he reply?
He said, doesn't your own scripture say you are gods? So why are you stoning me?
So
He's making a point.
how is his response a defense to his position?
Because he doesn't say he's not God. They say
You're not listening to my point. When he said,
He never said he clearly claimed to be God. That's what you're. But like.
I am saying there is nothing in the Bible, unambiguous, clear, where Jesus ever claims to be God, the God of Israel. Nowhere to be seen. This is simply a belief.
Question.
Before you question, let's deal with that text. It's a belief that is trying to fit into the text. So when Jesus said, isn't it written in your law that you are called gods, Elohim, Ben Elyon, sons of the Most High? And sons of the Most High. And I said I'm only Ben Elyon. So he is telling them that even God has called other human beings, they are the judges, as Elohim God. Now, according to the Jewish,
What verse are you?
Psalms 82.
Psalms 82.
Yeah, from verse 1 to 6.
Psalms 82.
Start from the very beginning. God, Filippo, God presides in the assembly of gods.
God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. How long
Slowly,
will you-
slowly. He needs to listen something. Filippo, I want you to listen. Can you read the first verse again?
82, yes?
Psalms 82, yeah, verse 1.
God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment.
In the midst of who?
The gods.
Gods. How many gods do the Jewish people believe in? And what is this verse saying? God is having an assembly, a divine council, in the midst of who? Gods.
Lowercase g, gods.
Lowercase, uppercase, in the midst of gods. So now you have a Jewish concept. You have a Jewish concept saying God is there in a divine council in the middle of gods.
Yeah, but gods could be like a god.
Sorry?
Could be even this camera there is there. It could be a god.
Now God is having a divine council with cameras. He's having a divine council with gods.
No, what
Right.
I'm saying is when you
And
say
it gets worse. And it continues. The verse 6 is the verse in question. And let's see what God says about them. Judge, no, 82:6.
No, you took the judge.
I-
It's not a judge.
No, I'm talking about, did God call them gods or not?
So starting at verse 1, God has taken his place in the divine council. In the midst of the gods, he holds judgment. How long will you judge unjustly and show partially to the wicked? Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. They have neither knowledge nor understanding. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I say, you are gods, sons of the Most High, all of you.
Right.
Nevertheless, you shall die like men and fall
Repeat
like
that verse
animals.
again slowly, word for word.
I say, you are gods,
Sons of the...
sons of the Most High, all
Right,
of you.
all of you.
Nevertheless,
You will die.
You shall die like men.
Right, so God is saying to those people, he's saying, I am telling you, you are God, sons of the Most High. Who is the Most High? It's God.
God.
And they are the sons of the Most High. So now God has how many children? Many.
Only one begotten.
Wait.
created from
According to God, he has many children, and they are also gods. So, when Jesus quoted this verse in his defense, how he refuted the Jewish people is saying, even one of the people said, I am God, those judges. Would that be a blasphemy? It's not going to be a blasphemy.
No, because they understood that Jesus was making a slightly different claim to be the only
No,
begotten Son
you
of
need to
God.
know what Jesus is claiming. This is the problem with the Christian interpretation of the text. According to Jesus, it is not a blasphemy if some of those judges said, I am a God. Even God. It's not going to be blasphemy. But what Jesus said, I didn't say that. I only said I am Ben Elyon, son of Elyon. So, did he claim to be God according to this defense? No, he didn't.
According to the Jews, he did.
No, according to his debunking the Jews, he didn't.
Can you show
He said-
me a verse where he says, no, I am not God?
Jesus was accused of blasphemy. You're claiming to be God. And he's saying, look,
Did he say
I
that he's
only said I am Ben Elyon.
Yep. Did he say that he didn't say that he's God? Did he say, I refute you and say I am not God? Or did
Okay.
he say,
One second,
you
one second.
say, you all say
One
you are
second,
children
one
of
second,
God,
one-
yet
one
you
second.
don't stone yourself.
One-
Why are you
one
stoning?
second, one
He
second.
said that because he knew that they...
Why are you preaching? Just let's have a discussion. So, Filippo,
You've had airtime.
it's not about having a time. It's to have a discussion, right? Rather than preaching. So Jesus said, the judges are called gods. And that's not a blasphemy. But did he claim to be God?
Yeah, the Jews thought he did.
The Jews thought he did it, but he said to them, but I only said. So what did he say?
Did he say no?
Hang on. The Jews thought he said he was God, but Jesus replies to them. He says,
Did he say no?
excuse me, he says, but I only said. When somebody says, I only said, does that mean he also said something else?
That's an argument from silence. Did he
That's
say no?
not an argument, silence.
Did he say no?
Okay. If God says, I have
No,
only...
no. Did he say no?
I am replying,
Did he
my
say no?
friend, I'm replying.
Okay.
If God, the Christian God says, I have only one begotten son,
Jesus.
Does that mean he also has other sons, or he has only one begotten sons?
Only one begotten son.
Oh, now, if he has only one begotten son, then it excludes everything else. So if somebody says, I only said, how can it then include something else? Where is the Christian interpretation?
Okay.
Come
Are
on.
you going to answer again? Did he say no?
I'm going to speak to now Filippo. I think I've dealt with you now. Thank you very much. Filippo, I'll continue.
To be honest, I would like to listen because
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is now. So this was one point where he could have been saying, I am God. But he refuted them and saying, calling God is not a blasphemy. Neither is the lesser form calling the Son of God, because the Son of God is nothing to do with divinity. Like those judges were sons of the Most High.
Yeah.
And they are not gods. So there is nothing in the Bible that one can pinpoint and say Jesus claims to be God. But even if you bring hundreds of verses in the Bible where Jesus claims to be God, it will not be sufficient for me. Do you know why? Because simply a mere claim doesn't make you God. There are a lot of writings in the tomb. No, let me tell you very briefly, and they'll hear from me. A lot of writings in the tombs of in the pyramids. Children, huh? Come to Speaker's Corner to act like children. Anyway, the police is there, they can handle it. Right. So, in the pyramids, inside or outside, there are many writings about God of the underworld and God of the overworld. Is that true? There is a God of the underworld? There you go. Just because a text says so, it doesn't make it true.
I don't know if they refer God of the underworld to Satan.
No.
I don't know.
God of the overworld?
Why are you calling someone else God to begin with?
Yeah. There are many religions, many texts that will say, I am God.
So could I just reply to
So it
one
doesn't-
thing you said?
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
before you said you were talking about, okay, even if you bring me every quote about Jesus claiming to be God, it wouldn't be enough for you, because it's not only because you claim it that you're God. That's a, yeah.
Because any book can claim for anyone to be
Yeah, so
claiming
that's
anything.
correct. Like I was
Yeah.
quoting you, yeah. But the thing is, right, if you put it in that way, then someone claiming that he has the message of God, such as Muhammad, could be considered the same thing. Then it's not enough that you
That
say.
claim
Yeah.
is a claim. It needs to be verified.
Exactly. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So the claim of Jesus, who understood that he was God? That's the question we were discussing.
Yeah.
The people, when they came to him,
Yeah.
what did they consider him to be? The people. Not the accusers, the people.
Well, I mean, Jesus asked to his disciple,
No,
what
the-
do people think?
People. What did the people think who he is?
Like,
They
what-
brought
what
their,
people?
like,
What people?
they brought their daughters and their children, the sick, the blind, the
Well, they
lepers.
thought he was God.
Never.
Well, I mean, if you bring some...
No,
oh,
no.
wait, okay, I'll just
None
put-
of the text says.
Okay.
Instead,
So I'll just put it in an historical context, which I think is we could agree with. If you were back in the times and you were a Jew, and you, like, imagine someone say, okay, you know what, this man claims to be God. Me as a Jew, surrounded only by Jews, you know what, I'll just follow that guy, go to his tent and try to be healed. That would be considered as the most blasphemous thing, or whatever, like, religious crime you want to call it. That would be considered unacceptable.
But that's not how the history is, though.
So if they did it, many people did it, like you claim,
yeah,
why would they go and get healed by someone,
I'll tell you.
by
Because
someone else who isn't God?
Sure.
If
I will reply. The picture that you've drawn is totally ahistorical, abiblical. Do you know what abiblical means?
Which
It
is
doesn't
not
fit in the
biblical.
Bible.
Okay.
Because what we find in the gospel is
Yeah.
people know there's a healer going around. A man approved by God to perform wonders and miracles. A prophet. So they came all over from different places and they said, thank God that he has given this man the authority to heal people. A man approved of God, approved with wonders and miracles, and he's a prophet of God. So they started talking to people that he's a prophet of God. So the picture, the Bible depicts that he's a prophet of God, a miracle worker, approved by God.
Okay, who says that?
People. The people who came to him to be healed.
Okay, why do you believe that Jesus is a prophet?
Why do I believe what?
Why do you believe that Jesus is a prophet?
I don't have to believe in the Bible to make him a prophet. Look, look.
Why yourself?
No. Look.
Why do
We
you
are doing a historical inquiry about the position of. He's come back again. Okay, one more time. Let's go over there. If he comes again, can you call the police? It's harassment. Come over here.
I'll need to go very soon.
Yeah, soon. Okay, because if he follows us here, it's going to be harassment. I'll call the police.
You have to allow him to help you.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
No, he's a heckler. He's a heckler. He's an Islamophobe. I had a discussion with him earlier.
Yeah, so-
right, okay.
I would just
So,
wanna-
no, it's okay. If he comes again, call the police. This is the second time. And he.
want him to come. Do you want him to come?
No, I don't want him. He's heckling.
He's scared. He's gonna lose. He's scared.
Look,
Whatever, it's a
don't invite hecklers in.
It's a human conversation.
No,
we
don't
should-
invite hecklers in the discussion.
Yeah. So
They mess the discussion.
yeah. So
Right, okay.
I wanted to ask you, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're saying Jesus is a prophet, correct? Yes
No,
or no? Like,
my
can you
claim
just
is
reply
a
yes
prophet
or
of God, independent of the Bible.
no?
Bible has nothing to do with it.
Independent of the Bible. But why do you yourself, as of today, believe that he's a prophet?
Sure, I can do that because of the Quran.
Because you're a Muslim.
Not because of the Quran. Because God has revealed the Quran with proof and evidence to demonstrate it's from God.
How can you prove to me it's from God?
Sure. So what kind of proof would you expect from a book of God to prove that it's from God? See, do you have any other suggestions and I will tell you.
Yeah. So
Can you call the police now? Can someone get the police over? Go on, get the police. This guy is coming to harass. Okay, if he comes again, do that. Yeah. Okay, continue.
all right. So you're asking me what should
What do you think?
Yeah.
What is your expectation? Because I have my own understanding, which I will share.
Which
but,
I am curious of.
But I will share. But I want to know, you as a independent inquirer,
Yeah.
when you want to establish how do we verify a book is a book from God,
Yeah.
what do we expect from this book?
Okay. Well, I think the first thing for me is it accurate? Is it historically accurate? Is it rational? So for me, I'll tell you, for example, the first thing which I don't understand of the Quran is this. So you have, I mean, you're saying the 12 disciples, but it's not only the 12 disciples, really.
No.
It was,
That history that you're giving,
Yes.
that history is disputable.
Yeah.
So you cannot bring disputable material to deal with.
but it's not true. But I don't agree myself with that personally.
Sorry?
Because you're saying that okay, you cannot relate to that. It's not historically accurate.
No, what I'm saying is to verify.
Why would it not be?
I'm going to explain to you, see if that makes sense. To say the Quran is not historically accurate by bringing in something of the history which is disputable is not a good science, not good inquiry, good investigation. You have to bring something solid for the basis to judge something by.
Again.
Whatever you're bringing
I
is
think
not solid.
Okay. So whatever I bring is not solid.
No.
Whatever.
About the disciples you bring is not solid.
Okay, none of the disciples, but 500 eyewitnesses. That
Name
saw
them.
him.
Number one.
All right. Okay. Name the people that. Then.
No, your statement. 500 eyewitnesses. It's a claim that we hear from Christians. Name them.
Yeah.
Not only that, not only
I
that.
don't know the name of each
Right.
individual 500 eyewitnesses.
You can ask your friends later. And then you should ask them, tell me about those witnesses, were they of good memory and good character, and who testified of the good memory and good character.
Okay.
Anyway, so how do I know the Quran is from God? So accurate.
I want to ask you this. So
Should we
you
deal
have
with
a
that?
man- You have a man at year zero. You have a man at year zero. Let's call it, and a man at year 600. The man at year 600 says he was not God. Whatever he was saying was not true, and God is this and that. Why is that true 600 years later? How can a man 600 years later know more?
Simple.
About
It's simple.
Simple. Because it's
It-
from the word of God. Okay.
If it comes from God, it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 years later
Yeah.
or millions years later.
Why is it the word of God?
That's what I'm saying. Why